Hey, welcome to another Shop Talk. Quick one today. I wanted to carry on talking about the DAG plate because something that I thought couldn't get much better has just become infinitely better. Excuse the pun. So let me just show you. We've got a new gadget. I bought this and then I spoke to Frank straight away, mentioned about I work on these big custom carcasses like bars and long things that are longer than the regular depth. And he's come up with this gadget. Now I'll just show you it quickly. It is absolutely, it's so simple and so clever. It comes with different little domino inserts, 10mm, 8mm, 6mm. And what it does, it allows this plate, this single plate, to just be an infinite length, literally infinite. I'll just show you how it works real quick. So we've got it set up here as you saw in the last video. We'll just use our spacer. This is just a quick go to show you. So this hole here, let's say this sheet of ply was much longer, MDF even. Just get this plate, this has got the 6mm which I've just cut, it's a super snug fit, push that in. That is exactly the same length as this setup block. And then you literally just move the plate along, no matter how long it is, put it in. Again, you can use your setup block and then plunge again, and you've guessed it. Move along to the next one, the next one, the next one. So that one little plate with the interchangeable domino inserts, you can buy it for whichever size you've got, has made this tool just go to an infinite length. No need to buy extensions, no need to buy joining connectors, no need to have anything big in your tool bag or on your shelf. It's absolutely brilliant. I've got a couple of projects that I've had in mind. You'll see them when they come out later in the year. And I needed to get dominoes in on the tight setting. You'll see why. There is other reasons why to do it, but and this is the only tool I can think to do it, because I was working out how to get 15 or 30 dominoes in a row, all on the tight setting. It's absolutely awesome. Frank, this is killer, and to turn this over in about 2 weeks is just ridiculous. I love it. It's a great device, real time saver. Now, while we're still on the DAG plate, let's just go back to what we spoke about last time, which was the pencil. And also, quickly, this is not anything about domino versus Maffel or whatever. If you wanted, for instance, on the Maffel to extend it, I think the rail's about 240 quid. And that's 800. If you wanted 1600, you've got to spend another 200 odd quid. If you wanted 3200, you know, you work it out, it's extrusion. It's going to be really expensive. This is going to give you infinite plunges. But that is not the only reason I use the domino and the DAG plate. Let me just have a quick look around here somewhere. So another thing, as I say, this is not Maffel, domino or Festool against Maffel at all. But if you've seen my other video, and I'll show you a quick clip, the reason I like the domino, especially the XL. Don't know if it's the world's biggest domino, but it's the biggest domino I'll have ever used. You can see there that this actually gives me a really big structural joint. And there is another trick using Frank's plate here, which is super accurate, where if the stock's the right length, you can actually plunge like this, turn the stock over, plunge again, and actually get like a 28mm thick loose tenon. Now, using the DAG, what we can do is you can infill for these loose tenons. Because it's so accurate, if you want to make a huge loose tenon, you can go in here with the first plunge. That's giving us, again, my famous no pencil saying, that's giving us the two outers for a potential, and then we can just take this away, nibble away there, and we've got a fixed size tenon, super quick. I'm going to be using this on some doors, and that's why I actually wanted the movable. So if you're going up the style of a door or whatever, you can put this in, plunge in, again, little or no marking, and it's going to be super tight fit, and you're going to get these really big tenons. If you can just make these as you've seen in my video. So really flexible, and that's one of the reasons I love this machine. or both these machines are super flexible. Now when it comes to another thing, when I was speaking to Frank, or I think he saw my YouTube video, and I was moaning about, or saying about taking these plates off is the slowest thing, about buying another domino. What's happened now is this is the little tool that we use to check we're square. Now that is going to be changed. That tool's going to be changed, I've been told. And what it's going to do, it's going to have two sides. So when we get our 700, which is like this, we can leave the 700, let's say, with this plate on. And we can go into the carcass shelves like this way on the horizontal. And then when it comes to doing the actual carcass with the vertical, because I've got two machines, instead of registering with this one, which would be for the 500, you'll flip it over, it will say 700 on there, and then when you plunge this baby in, it will be exactly the same as plunging that in, just by swapping this. So you don't need, if you've got both machines and you've bought both bases, you don't need to interchange. So it's going to be much, much faster to use. Much faster now. I have two machines set up. This one is actually really good to use vertical. It's a big old lump and it sits well. And this is really good to use horizontal because it's nice and light. And with Frank's register plate, it's just insane. So really, really big updates, I think, and I mean, just not that expensive really for all of this, what it does. Something I didn't do on the last video, I just want to go through this because there's a lot of comments, aside from the comments about the other joiners, the Maffels and stuff. I mean, I've got a Zeta and I love that as well, but I just find this much more, well, not for everything, but for most jobs, when you're doing stuff structural, it's the XL's the one. And then when it comes to breakdown joints, well, you can't beat this with its mechanical breakdown joints. They're so strong. I've made tables that are actually held together with them. So just awesome. But I just wanted to say about the marking. Now, there is something else coming. I've been talking to Frank about this. Swapping this out so that we don't actually have to move it up and down and remark. But what I should have shown you on the last video, I was showing you edge of carcass, but the way you would do middle of carcass with a DAG plate as opposed to freehand is get whatever square you like, you would mark it, this is where your pencil comes in, you mark there, this is where my shelf's going to go, and then you'll bring this down and put it on the line. Now, yes, I've used the pencil to mark the line, but what I now have is not only do I have a fixed point where I'm going to be plunging, locking, but I also have something to reference against for plunging the shelves, which would always be this DAG plate, clamped down, would always be the same. Now, if I didn't use a DAG plate, I'll show you a real quick video. I would actually set up and I use, say, my Festool rail. So as you can see there, I set up my Festool rail, gives me a really accurate carcass. Now I've got to set up a rail anyway. Why set up a rail and then put pencil marks in and try and come over with my eyes and try and line up on these pencil marks and keep everything square? You can just clamp one of these in. So even mid carcass, this is much, much faster, much more repeatable. And the other thing is that the shelves and the carcasses, because they're done with this on the tight setting, it's like they've been done with CNC. I could mix and match all the shelves, 15 shelves, 5 carcass sides, whatever. They would all come together exactly the same because they're all referencing off this DAG plate. But if you had 2 or 3 people working in the shop, you could all be doing different tasks. If you've got 1 or 2 of these registering, all your stuff works together. There's no sending round drawings for where you're going to drop your dominoes or working out that we're going to reference 1 off the side, 1 loose, 1 tight. So you definitely can work freehand with the domino. You can definitely eye it up. Come in from the end with the pins. There's little pins on a domino. If you've got one, you know. You come in on the end on the pin. That's your first one. Switch it to a loose setting. Eye it up. That's your second, third. Maybe come on the pin on the end. You can do that, but if you're doing multiple carcasses, you still need to lay out lines. You still need to be roughly in the zone. You still need to make sure that your shelves and your end panels are all roughly the same, or you've got to bring a shelf up. Lots of people do dominoes like this. You mark in here and here and here, and it's just a lot of marking out. It's not a problem. I'm not saying that you have to use one of these. I'm just showing you it because I really like it, and I know the reason I do these videos, This is not sponsored. The reason I do these videos is because I'll be using this, building some furniture, which is when I started my YouTube, showing you me making things, and I will get flooded with emails and private emails, some phone calls, messages saying, what is this thing you're using? And that's what Shoptalk is all about. It's not about me selling products for people. It's about me showing you the stuff I use in the shop so I can enjoy making the videos and you get a reference of what I'm using, and hopefully it helps everybody. Anyway, so it's Father's Day. I'm going to get back to my Father's Day. Hope you all have a lovely day today. If you like the video, please subscribe, bell, and please like it. It's really, really helping. You've been doing it a bit more since I've asked, and it really helps. And thanks so much to my patrons. You're really helping me make the videos. You definitely are. Very time consuming making the videos, I'm sure you know. And with the Patreons and the likes and subscriptions, it's really helping. So all have a lovely weekend, rest of your weekend anyway. I'll see you on the next one, guys.